Morning, everyone. This is going to be a little bit different today. I can not, unfortunately, be there with you in person due to a virtual yoga training that I'm trying to complete. But this recording will be in the place of our usual Sunday live meditation. So we'll see how this goes. So to begin, let yourself come to a comfortable position, whether that's seated or lying down. Allow yourself to come into a posture that will allow you to settle into your space, into yourself as much as possible. I don't know if you're able to hear the birds around me through the microphone, but if you are able to hear them, allow that to be another grounding touchstone in your practice today. So wherever you are, whatever your posture, first allow yourself to greet your breath this morning. Begin to notice your inhales, becoming more still and present with each passing exhale. And as always, without force, without control, without attempting to fix or change the breath in any way, see what it's like for yourself this morning to simply witness the breath, watching it organically unfold. And if you notice yourself experiencing any desire to control or fix, change or manage the breath, simply do just that. Be aware of those desires and impulses and feelings that might be surfacing. But just because they're there doesn't mean that you are obligated to do anything about them. That we can notice ourselves having an impulse, a desire, a feeling, and that can be it. We can simply notice that it's there, notice the impulse or the desire to act upon it. And we can breathe our way through that as fluidly as possible. And then witness how it begins to change into something different. In this becoming present with the breath, we begin to notice the impermanence of everything, how nothing stays the same. It will eventually shift and change, transform, transcend into something different. Research actually indicates that our emotions have a 3 to 5 second lifespan, but that it's usually our thoughts that continue to re-amp the emotion we're feeling, which might create the illusion that we're feeling and experiencing the emotion longer than we actually are. So see if you can practice this morning, exactly where and how you are, that whichever thoughts you may be noticing, whichever feelings may be surfacing, whatever sensations in your physical body you might be picking up on, see if you can flow with these sensations, thoughts, and feelings. And with that gentle fluidity, see if you can feel the place where things begin to shift. Where the new breath comes in, where the new thought comes in, where the new feeling or physical sensation arises. Explore what it's like for you this morning to be the gentle observer, the kind, loving witness of your inner and outer experience. Oftentimes we bring the energy of control or fixing, managing, or changing. Oftentimes we resist our organic experience, wanting reality to be different than how it actually is. And this resistance, this desire for things to be different than how they actually are, is what creates a good majority of our suffering. We notice that when we bring acceptance, ease into our experience, that things begin to shift, that suffering can dissipate even just a tiny, tiny bit. And that acceptance doesn't mean that we necessarily like what's happening. It doesn't mean that we need to agree or support what's happening. Acceptance means that somewhere we simply understand and surrender to the reality that is. Far, far easier said than done, I know. But maybe that's at least part of the reason why we're here in this human experience. to learn the art of these ancient techniques and wisdoms that we're here to practice, to absorb, eventually integrate these teachings, philosophies, and practices. So where you're at, right here, right now, I will stop talking for a bit and see what it's like for you to observe with that gentle curiosity the thoughts, the feelings, the physical sensations that you notice arising inside of you, passing from one moment to the next. If you notice the mind has wandered off, that you're lost in some thought or feeling, that's entirely okay. Congratulate yourself for noticing that your attention has wandered off a bit. And then gently bring it back. I also invite you in this time to explore the possibility of embodying your experience again as much as possible, especially in our Western culture. Most of us, if not all of us, to some degree at least, are conditioned to think about and to analyze our present experience more than actually embody it, more than actually being in it. That it can feel a bit more familiar to linger in the mind. If that resonates at all with you, I invite you to explore the gentle art of dropping into your experience, embodying your experience. And of course, just like with everything else, much easier said than done, even though it may sound quite nice to be in and embody one's experience. There's plethora of reasons why most of us feel a bit more familiar lingering in and with the mind, that it actually takes a whole lot of courage and grace to be fully present, to be fully embodied. And the way we practice embodiment is by first becoming that gentle observer of our experience. And as we become more comfortable, safe, and fluid with observing as the witness, we allow ourselves, if possible, to go one step closer into yourself. That instead of thinking about hearing the birds, we see if we can allow ourselves to just hear the birds. That instead of thinking about our breath, we explore the possibility of being our breath, dropping into the breath. You might be getting a taste of allowing yourself to be your consciousness versus being the thoughts of your experience. What you might be noticing is you experience fleeting moments of this, at least at first, if not for a while. Then maybe there's a glimpse, a split second of the possibility of embodiment. And then the thought pops in, or we go back to being the witness or the observer. And that's exactly where we need to be if that is what is occurring for you. And maybe for some it's different. Maybe some of you are embodying your experience with fluidity and ease. Maybe it comes quite naturally to you, and that's amazing as well. Whatever your organic experience is, again, with as much acceptance as possible, allow that to be your experience. And if you notice yourself judging or criticizing or wondering if you're doing it right or wrong or good or bad, I invite you to take a step away from that to recognize, validate that you really truly are exactly where you need to be. However you're experiencing this right now is exactly how you need to be experiencing it. And that judgment or criticism, that illusion of right and wrong, good or bad, simply creates an extra layer of suffering we don't necessarily need. And again, I'm going to be silent for a bit of time. Allow yourself to explore the noticing of the thoughts, the feelings, the sensations, and to allow yourself, as best as possible, to not cling or attach to any one thought, feeling, or sensation, but to simply name it when you notice it surfacing. You notice, okay, there's that tingling sensation in my left foot. So maybe you say to yourself, tingling foot, and allow the concentration to move on back to your breath, back to your embodiment. So again, I'll be silent for a bit of time. Allow yourself to explore this. If your mind has wandered off, that's entirely okay. Remember, that's what the thinking mind knows how to do. We're coming to the end of our practice here this morning. Before closing, I invite you to take a moment in your heart center, maybe actually placing your hands over your heart if that feels okay for you to do. And take a moment here. And feeling for yourself if there's any intention that may be present with you today. Intention meaning some sort of mantra or phrase, maybe a word, maybe a passage, or it could be a feeling, it could be a visual, and maybe no intention is present, and that's entirely okay too. Honor whatever experience arises for you. Whatever is present in your heart at this time, I invite you to use your next in-breath to bring forth to you the energy that you want and need at this time to bring to you, and exhaling out anything that you are needing, wanting, willing, and or ready to let go of. And trusting that with releasing, that with letting go of what no longer serves you, that you are making the space for what does serve you, what you do need, what will serve your highest potential. So again, inhaling, bringing forth, exhaling out and releasing what no longer serves you. Taking a couple of mindful breaths at your own pace. And then bringing some gentle movement into the body. Wiggling the fingers, wiggling the toes, moving the spine if it needs that, moving your head or neck if that feels good. If you've had your eyes closed, I invite you to open them whenever feels good for you. And I wish I could be there in person today. I might catch you guys for at least a part of the sermon if this training wraps up in time. Hopefully it does. But I say it every week. I love and appreciate you guys so much. I seriously really do. Can't wait to give you all hugs in person one day if you feel comfortable with that. I know some people have sworn off hugging after things pass or shift, and that's entirely okay too. But if you're open to hugs one day, If that's a possibility in our future, totally going to give you a big hug. So may your day be blessed. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. And know that I appreciate you so, so, so much in our time here together. I'll see you guys next week. Be well.